Imagine that one morning you wake up and realize nothing can happen to you permanently anymore. You can get hurt, but the wound will disappear. You can get sick, but your body will beat the illness by itself. You can grow old. No, actually, that is the one thing that will never happen again. First, it sounds like a dream, but now imagine something else. Everyone you love will change. Grow old. Leave. The cities you lived in will disappear. Countries will change their names. People will forget your real voice, your real name, your first life. But you will stay, with the same face, with the same eyes, with the same inability to end. And that is when immortality stops being a gift and becomes a sentence. Congratulations, you just stopped dying. Not in a symbolic way, not spiritually, not beautifully, like in books. Literally, your body has changed in a way that no doctor in the world could explain. Your cells repair themselves perfectly. Your organs no longer wear out. Your bones heal stronger than before. Your skin heals without scars. Every scratch disappears. Every wound closes. Every illness goes away. You can still feel pain. You can still get scared. You can still break. But you no longer age. At first, it feels like the best thing that could ever happen to you. The next morning, you wake up and go straight to the mirror. You just stand there and look at yourself. The same face, the same hair, the same skin, the same person. There was a small scratch on your finger yesterday. Now it is gone, completely gone. Not even a mark is left. You check your pulse. Normal. You breathe. Normal. You touch your face, your hands, your neck, as if you were trying to find any proof that this was not a dream. But it is real. You feel good. Better than good. For the first time in your life, you do not feel like time is standing behind you, quietly counting your days. The clock is no longer chasing you. You go to work like nothing happened. People around you complain about normal things. Deadlines, loans, rent, tiredness, back pain, age, wrinkles, gray hair. You nod along with everyone. But inside, you are already far away. They are talking about a world you no longer belong to. That evening, you decide to test it for real. You stand in the kitchen. There is a knife in your hand. Your heart is beating faster, even though you almost already know what is going to happen. You run the blade across your palm. It hurts. Blood runs into the sink. For 3 seconds, you get scared. Really scared. Because the pain is real. The blood is real. You are still a living person, not a stone. But then the skin starts pulling itself back together. Right in front of your eyes. The pain disappears. The wound closes. The blood stays in the sink. But there is nothing left on your palm. You laugh. Quietly at first. Then louder. Then almost like you are losing your mind. And then you just sit on the bathroom floor and stare at your hand for a whole hour. Because now you know. You are immortal. The first year feels incredible. You stop being afraid of the future because now you have too much of it. You quit the job you have been forcing yourself to tolerate for years. You no longer have to pretend that you like the office, your boss, pointless meetings, and reports that nobody reads. You travel. You eat whatever you want. You stay awake all night. You buy a one-way ticket just because you can. You start learning languages you kept putting off. You read the books you always said you would read someday. And now someday has become endless. You become braver. At first, in small ways. You cross the road more calmly. You walk at night in places where you would never have gone before. You climb high rocks without fear. You swim far into the ocean, just to feel what panic is like when it can no longer defeat you. But very quickly, you understand something important. Immortality does not make you invincible. You can still drown. You can still burn. You can still get trapped under rubble. You can still be locked somewhere where nobody will ever find you. Your body can recover from pain, but it cannot teleport out of a locked room. And that is when you learn the first rule of eternal life. Death is no longer your biggest problem. The biggest problem is getting stuck. 10 years pass. You look exactly the same. First, people like it. They say, "You never change. You look great. What's your secret?" You smile and give them a simple answer. Sleep, exercise, good genes, less stress, sunscreen, and everyone laughs. For now. Then 20 years pass. And the compliments start to feel different. Your friends get wrinkles. Some of them start losing hair. Some of them have bad knees. Some start talking about blood pressure, doctors, tests, and tiredness. Their children grow up. And you still look like someone who just got very lucky with their appearance. At a reunion with old friends, one person looks at you for too long. He does not smile. You remember your first home, but you cannot remember the smell of the kitchen. You remember your mother's face, but more from photos than from real memory. You remember that you were once afraid of death, but you no longer remember what it felt like to live with the feeling that time was limited. You start keeping journals. First one notebook, then boxes, then hard drives, then encrypted archives, then voice recordings to yourself. You write down who you were, where you lived, who you loved, what you feared, what names you used, what mistakes you made, just in case one day you forget. And one day you really do forget. You find an old video recorded 100 years ago. On the screen, it is you, young. Even though you still look young now. But there, you are different. There is hope in your eyes, excitement in your voice, a kind of naive confidence on your face. You watch your old version smile into the camera and say, I think I'm starting to understand what this gift means. You turn off the video, because he understood nothing. Nothing at all. 500 years pass. Humanity reaches Mars. Then the moons of Jupiter. Then places that once existed only in science fiction movies. You fly with them. Why not? Earth has become too heavy. In every city you have a memory. Every street reminds you of something. Every country feels like a graveyard of people you once knew. Space feels cleaner. Empty. Honest. On the ship, people are excited and scared. For them, this is the start of a new era. A great step. A historic moment. But you are calm. You have already seen wooden houses become skyscrapers. You have seen horses disappear from roads. You have seen machines become smarter than people. You have seen the impossible become normal. A new planet is just another neighborhood to you. But even there, the problem follows you. People change. You do not. Your crew gets older. Their children take their places. Then their grandchildren. Then other generations, who know you not as a person anymore, but as a strange legend. In mission photos, your face always looks the same. And once again, you have to disappear. A new colony. A new identity. A new lie. 1,000 years pass. You no longer think like a normal person. You do not rush. You do not panic. You do not argue about things that nobody will remember in 10 years. You watch wars the way other people watch storms. Scary, loud, full of destruction, but temporary. Because of this, you seem wise. But because of this, you also seem cold. One day, a child asks you, "What are you most afraid of?" You almost answer, "Nothing." But then you understand that it is not true. You are not afraid of pain, not loneliness, not the end of the world, and not even the end of the universe. Your greatest fear is that eternity is actually real. Because if eternity is real, then nothing feels final. No goodbye feels like the last one. No victory feels complete. No life feels full. No version of you gets the right to stop and say, "That's it. I made it." You just keep going. Again, again, and again. And then the final problem appears. The sun is changing. Not today, not tomorrow, but one day. Stars grow old too. Planets die too. Galaxies are not eternal either. Everything ends. Except you. And that is the cruel joke. You were not freed from death. You were separated from it. After all these years. After all the money. After all the cities. After all the love. After all the names you wore like masks. After all the people whose hands you held and then had to let go. You finally understand what immortality really is. It is not eternal youth. Not endless adventure. Not power. Not freedom. Not becoming a god. Immortality is watching every room become empty one day. One person after another. One home after another. One era after another. Until only you are left. And maybe that is exactly why an ordinary human life is so valuable. Not because it is long. but because it ends. Because every conversation has weight. Every meeting has meaning. Every I love you has a time limit. Every day has a price. We often dream about having more time, about a second chance, about a life without old age and death. But maybe it is the limit that makes us truly alive. It makes us choose, forgive, love, take risks, say the important words now, not 100 years later. In a world where everyone is chasing youth, immortality, endless success, and the perfect life, sometimes it is worth remembering one simple thing. The value of life is not that it lasts forever. The value is that you do not let it pass you by. Not because death makes us weak, but because the ending makes every moment real. If this story made you think even for 1 second about time, about the people next to you, or about the things you keep putting off for later, I would be really grateful if you subscribed. If you want to help me keep making deep stories like this, support the channel, leave a like, and write in the comments. Would you want to become immortal if you knew the real price? I already have new videos with a similar atmosphere coming soon, different topics, but the same depth. See you in the next video.